One feature I really loved on the 3DS is the activity log. I didn't discover it for a while, so when I first looked at it I was fascinated to see which games I had played the most. It told you your playtime, number of times played and average playtime. Just look at how long I spent on that eShop. The Wii U had one too. It wasn't as good since you couldn't bring up a list of overall most played games. You had to click on each individual game to see your overall time, but you couldn't see it in relation to the others. The Switch is sorely lacking an activity log, and I don't know why. Why is it that they get a feature perfect on the first try and then downgrade it with each new console? All you can do is look at your profile and see your playtimes for the last 20 games you played, but only if you first played it more than 10 days ago. And even then, the playtimes are rounded to 5-hour periods. But one thing you can do on the Switch is organise your game collection by most time played. Strange that it clearly keeps track of the time spent on each game, but chooses not to disclose the information. But I am happy that I can see which games have taken my attention the most, and I am here to share this with you. I'm Dave from SaveDex, and here are my top 10 most played Switch games so far. If I had written this script a few days earlier, then my number 10 would have been Mario Tennis Aces. That game got me hooked online as I tried to beat a tournament with every character in order. I got as far as Luigi, who is the second character, so I'm obviously great at it. Then they made the tournaments shorter, and I won with Luigi, Wario and Waluigi very quickly, so I gave up since it didn't seem as much fun without the constant struggle. But it's not number 10 anymore, and that is due to me spending the previous weekend playing YOOKA-LAYLEE again in order to prepare for the sequel. Being a huge fan of Banjo-Kazooie, I was really excited for this game, but I avoided the PS4 version because I wanted it on the Switch. I know this is a love it or hate it game, and when I first played through it, I did like it. I completed it, and had a fun time. But I didn't feel the magic that I felt with Banjo back in the day. I put this down to my being in my early 30s now instead of being 12, but then I did something that I don't do often anymore. I started a second file and I played through it again. I never feel I have the time to do this anymore with games, since I have an ever-growing backlog that I feel I must get through. But this game has taught me that a better use of my time can be to just replay a game I enjoy very much, rather than play through a game just because I feel like I should. In replaying this game, the worlds are more familiar to me, and I am remembering the game a lot better than games I tend to play through just the once. I'm enjoying exploring the levels now I have a better idea of where I'm going. The moveset is a lot of fun, the characters and worlds have so much personality and humour. It really does feel like a modern day Banjo game. Like I said, it doesn't come anywhere near the quality of Banjo-Kazooie. No game will ever be able to replicate it. If this game existed alongside Banjo back in the day, I think I would still prefer Banjo. But for me, this does come close, and I am now firmly in the love it camp. My recent third playthrough has bumped it up to my number 10 spot. Number 9 is Rocket League. I have no interest in cars. I have no interest in football, but I seem to have a lot of interest in playing football in cars. It's so strange to me that by combining two things that I really don't like has created one of the best multiplayer games I have ever played. A lot of my playtime here is the online, usually with Sophie on the same team as me. I do find the game hard to get to grips with, but it is so satisfying when you actually score or pull out a spectacular save. Most of my album on the Switch is just videos of some great shots and saves that we've both pulled off. I like to think I'm tactical at this game. I tend to wait by my own goal to guard it until I see an opportunity to strike, always moving slightly backwards and forwards as I do this because the game has banned me for inactivity before. The only drawback is when being paired with randoms on my team, a lot of them just want to hit the ball. I always refer to them as dogs. since they don't seem to think of strategies. They just want to zoom head on into the ball and whack it anywhere. Doesn't matter if they score an own goal, they just want to chase that ball, just like a dog would. Battle Royales have gotten really popular in recent years, and there is one undoubtedly better than any of the others that is on the Switch, and that is Tetris 99. This game instantly justified Nintendo Switch Online. A free game exclusive to NSO members, Nintendo decided to jump on that bandwagon with the Battle Royale genre, but instead of it being a shooter, it's Tetris. These battle royales can be very addictive anyway, so when you take Tetris, probably the most addictive game ever, you're going to get a game that is impossible to put down, and that's what's happened to me. I would constantly put this game on intending to play just one battle, but end up saying just one more try when I failed. Then it would end up being 2 hours later. At one point I actually worried that I had become too addicted to this game that I boycotted it for a while. I have recently picked up the physical version, which I think is a good thing, because I could delete the digital version off my Switch, so the temptation to play it too much is gone, seeing that I can't play it unless I put the cartridge in. Of course this one would be here. It'd probably be higher if it was more than a few months old, but who could argue with pretty much unlimited Mario levels? After just a day of owning this game, it jumped halfway up my most played list, out of around 100 games at the time. I've only made one level, Sophie has made one too, both codes I'm putting in the description if you'd like to give them a try, but making levels isn't really my thing. I'm much more interested in playing other people's, as I've seen so many creative and ingenious designs. The Endless run is what I've put most of my time into, although the multiplayer did draw me in for a while. It's a shame most games are full of lag, so it's a very hit and miss experience. The only drawback for me is the lack of amiibo costumes. The first Mario Maker is my most played game on the Switch, as I got obsessed with unlocking them all through the 100 Mario challenge. The Endless run is a lot of fun, but I do miss having an end goal and something to aim for. The Mii costumes are fun, but I preferred collecting all the characters from Nintendo's other franchises. But that aside, the game has an insane amount of content and will most likely be higher than 7 in a year's time. It's made it this high in just a few months after all. Hyrule Warriors feels like a love letter to Zelda fans, without having any Zelda gameplay. It's essentially a Dynasty Warriors game with a Zelda skin, but putting it like that really undervalues just how much love and attention has gone into this game. I owned it on the Wii U, and the DLC as well, but I skipped out on the 3DS version, so this definitive edition really did bring plenty of new things to me. At least 80% of my playtime in this game has been with Link, but who else would I choose really overall? There are a lot of characters in this game from a wealth of different Zelda titles, and it is just packed with references, some obvious such as the locations, and some more subtle like Darunia celebrating a victory by doing the same dance he does in Ocarina of Time. I have beaten story mode and the first adventure map, but there is still so much more to see and do in this game. Pressing Y over and over again has never been more enjoyable. So Stardew Valley is apparently my number 5 most played game on the Switch. I have never played Stardew Valley in my life, so what's going on here? The answer to that is, Sophie's played it a lot. Over 95 hours in fact. The footage you're seeing is not of her farm because she's going to do a farm tour video at some point in the future and didn't want to spoil anything in this video. So I asked Sophie, what is it about Stardew Valley you really love? And she said, you have your own farm, it's cute, you can do a lot of mining and crafting. And I'm like, wow, I can't think of any titles out there that combines mining and crafting together. So my number 5 most played game on the Switch is a game I've never played. Number 4, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A port of the Wii U Mario Kart game, and what a fine game it is too. It includes all the DLC from 8, a new battle mode that is a lot of fun, and gameplay wise it's the best this series has ever been. It's just the right amount of hectic with its items, the blue shell isn't as frequent as it has been in past games, and it's one of Nintendo's better attempts at this new online thing that they don't always get the hang of. Sophie and I have put a lot of hours into the online for this game. The voting system is weird, as it gives you just 3 tracks to choose from, or random, and then it chooses randomly from the courses we all picked. The more people who voted for a course, the more likely it'll get randomly chosen. So if 11 people voted for the same course, it might still choose the course only one person voted for. This isn't very good democracy. Let's hope Nintendo don't get into politics. But that said, the game is just a ton of fun to play, with so much to keep us coming back for more. Have you ever tried the 48 track Grand Prix? It takes forever.
Super Mario Odyssey!
I was so hyped for this game when it came out. I used to ask myself, will this bring me back to that feeling Mario 64 gave me all those years ago? Well, obviously not, I'm not a kid anymore, but this game really did draw me in with its fun world, amazing music, and insane new mechanics. In that brilliant Nintendo way, you can possess things, and it's not creepy at all, since instead of saying possess, they say capture, so it's all okay for the kids. Kind of like defeating someone instead of killing them, makes it all child friendly. I only got a couple of hours of playtime on that Friday night it came out, but on Saturday I was working in the morning, but I got home, had my lunch, then at 2 PM I gave it another go. I played it until I beat the main story, and it was 10:30. I don't think I've ever spent over 8 hours on the game in one go before, but I did it with Mario Odyssey. Then the game really came alive once I beat the main story, and I got hooked into finding every moon. I very much enjoyed my time here, but it didn't feel as good as Mario 64. A few months later, I watched a speedrun, and it made me want to play it again. I'm no speedrunner, but like with Yooka-Laylee, I enjoyed the game more the second time around, now that the worlds were more familiar to me and I knew my way around. Even though I knew where most of the moons were, I found it more fun collecting them, knowing what I was doing, just like how I still love playing Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, even though I know where everything is. Luigi's Balloon World got added, which made getting coins so much quicker in order to buy all those amazing costumes. A few months ago I started a third file, and fell in love with the game all over again. It was on this playthrough that it really hit me at just how amazing this game really is. It is honestly one of the best games I have ever played. Mario 64 will always be my preference due to the time I played it and the impact it had on me and many others at the time, but unlike Yooka-Laylee, if this game existed alongside its predecessor, I think I would have preferred this game over Mario 64. Number 2, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Well, yeah, it's the only game I got at launch. It's Zelda. I love Zelda. It's open world. I don't play many open world games, but I have loved every one I've played, and this is the one I've loved the most. Although I do wish this had more Zelda-like elements, such as proper dungeons and a hookshot, you can't fault the amount of effort that clearly went into this divine beast of a game. There is just so much world here to explore, and after the opening area, you are free to go anywhere at any time, even straight to the final boss. My playtime racked up here because too often I would set my marker for a mission, then get distracted on the way to it by something that needs investigating, which then led to something else which I could do that wasn't saving Hyrule. 40 minutes later, I would remember the quest that I was going to do, but then I'd notice a shrine, so I'd better go do that, and then forget about the quest all over again. My only gripe with this game is that the world was a bit too barren. There's a sequel coming which might be in the same world, so hopefully it'll be more populated this time, like how Majora's Mask had more emphasis on its community than Ocarina of Time did. There was also DLC, which I eventually bought but still haven't played through it all. I did start a second file as well because I wanted to experience it all again. There's something very satisfying in these games by starting again from scratch. I will miss traditional Zelda, but if the new direction they take Zelda in continues to be of this high quality, then I will welcome them to, once again, take my breath away. Number 1, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What can I say about this game? Over 80 characters, and still more to come, just everyone is here. 106 stages at the time of recording, an insane amount of customization. It can cater to anyone's needs. Unlike other fighters, you're not just knocking health bars down, you're bringing a damage meter up so you can knock them off the stage, but you can have it so it is a health bar draining down if you want. I played the story mode in the hard difficulty, which took 48 hours to 100%. There are over 1300 spirits to unlock, which I am close to finishing as well. Classic mode is the best it's ever been since every character has their own unique path. The sheer amount of variety in this game has just escalated it to the number 1 spot for me, and I am nowhere near finished with it. I know the online has been iffy for some people, but for me it's lag free about 95% of the time, so I have no issues with it, and I am currently going through every character to win an online tourney for a video series I'm doing. Which, funnily enough, when capturing the footage for this game for this video, I did an online tourney with Link and actually won it. But it wasn't a one-on-one no items one, it was one that had items. I find them easier to win anyway. Sakurai has done wonders here in bringing so many franchises, even outside of Nintendo, together with so much love and attention. The significance of Smash cannot be understated, the community is so passionate about it. I have never seen any game before generate so much hype over a new character announcement as any new fighter getting added to Smash. It has Banjo in it now. That's enough to keep me playing. Oh, and the gameplay's pretty damn awesome too. So, those are my most played Switch games. Which ones have taken the most of your time? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, giving it a like would be much appreciated. I certainly liked making this video. And to see more from us in the future, click that subscribe button. I have even more attempts of Smash tourneys on the way. Sophie's going to do a tour of her Stardew Valley farm at some point, so you can look forward to those. Bye bye everyone.